Work from home has been enforced on us, but guess what? It's going to become the way of the future. That's the context of my video today. My name is Priya Kumar. I'm a motivational speaker and author, and I welcome you to my YouTube series of Lockdown. Now, for all the people who had been complaining that they don't get time at home, they don't get time to spend with their families, well, God has answered all your prayers, and now you have all the time in the world to be in front of their eyes. Now, a lot of people are finding it very, very difficult to work from home, to stay productive, to stay focused, and also to deliver the results that are expected of them. You know, when you go to work, there are some hygiene factors that are taken care of so that you can put your attention and focus onto things that are important. Now, sitting at home, and especially when everybody is under a lockdown, including your spouse and your children, and perhaps with no house help, it's becoming a little overwhelming. But you know what? The true test of character is how you solve problems. That's why you have a job, because you have the ability to solve problems. So let's look at this as an opportunity to set things up such that perhaps this could be a better way of the future. You must have seen all the memes and jokes on Instagram and social media where the men are brooming and mopping and washing dishes, and it's become this really big joke on how housewife is now entertaining the house husband. Well, here is my take on it. It's a little different perspective, that it would be a smart idea now that you all are under lockdown to have a good conversation with your family, to define roles and to up everybody's workload. That's what tough times calls for. Tough times calls for tough measures, and it calls for inconveniences. Don't shy away from that. Don't be afraid of hard work. Don't be afraid of extra work, especially when there is a problem, especially during tough times, especially during challenges and crisis. That is what is expected of you, to burn the midnight oil, to do more work, to help out more. So everybody should take on responsibility depending on their profiles. Now, let me also give you a perspective that if you are an employer or an employee, this would be a good time to upgrade your skills, to put in more thought on your profile. Because you see, there's so much insecurity going on that whether people will continue to have jobs, whether their salaries will continue to remain the same, and whether the incentive packages would still be valid. This is the time to be more useful. Instead of thinking of your own insecurities, think from the side of the organization, your seniors and your bosses. They are also insecure whether the company will be viable, whether they will make enough money to pay you. So go the extra mile. Call them and ask them, how can I help? How can I be more useful? And use that added advantage of extra time which you save in travel, and the fatigue that brings with it. Use that to upgrade your skills or to do more work. Now, in the same token, you request your family members to help out with the housework. Sure, you can, and you must continue to help your spouse in the household work as a habit and as a regime. But this is a tough time. This is not a lifestyle. It's not going to be like this forever. So it would be a smart idea to request that, look, I understand you have more workload, and I'm also taking more workload from my office and from my profile and from my seniors, so that when the lockdown ends, we all are viable, that we all are secured in our future. It would do you very, very well to round up your family and to devise roles for everybody, including your children. So that way everyone is busy, they are purpose bound, and they know that they're working together as a family unit. That would go a long way in sorting out distractions and disturbances and put your mind where it should be in times of these crises, which is doing the greatest job ever. Now, having sorted that, you have to set up privacy for your workspace. You know how you have total attention when you go to work? You need to create that environment of focus and attention at home. So select a corner, select a wall, select a space which will be your office for the day. And everybody should understand that 9 to 5 or whatever your work timings are, dad or mom is at work and this is my office and you cannot disturb me. And everybody should be tuned into the discipline, what is going to be needed and wanted, so everyone can do their jobs in peace. And look, it's exactly how you do at work. It is setting expectations right from the start and reaching agreements and honoring them. Do that with your family. Aren't you the most powerful executive? Don't you want to move ahead in your career? These are the skills, these are the life skills that are going to come in handy. And if you can align your family, who are the toughest of all, you can align your colleagues and peers and seniors to your vision. This is a trying, testing time for you. Shine in it. Now, when you're working, set specific working hours. Breakfast at what time? Lunch at what time? Tea, coffee at what time? Just because you're at home, don't shout out to somebody, your daughter or son or wife, I want tea and so on. Because you see, since this is a tough time, your children are also watching you. They are also observing how disciplined you are and how you handle crisis. See, until now, what you did at work, they had no idea. But now they can watch you. And that is dangerous territory because A, it's a tough time. B, you're already juggling too many roles. And C, it's not easy to set the right example, but this is the time that you should and you must. So please put in discipline. How can you later tell your children that they are not disciplined and they are not organized if you can't do that? How long do you want to wait to get this in your head that this is for real? Even if the lockdown was for 7 days, in 7 days you have the opportunity to set an example for your next generation in your presence. They may never have the opportunity to come and see dad at work and to see what he does. Show them now and show them with your discipline and show them with your professionalism. So, I'm going to give you some tips on how do you set up your workplace. First, select a wall. Like for example, I have selected this one with my books in the background. You could have a plain wall. Not everybody has a bookshelf or a library, but select a wall. Select a corner in your house. Don't get to the dining table because you'll be asked to move around. Don't be near the kitchen because then you'll be disturbed with all the cooking. It would be nice if you select the remotest, furthest place away and assign that as your workplace. Let everybody know also that privacy is needed here. Now, if you have a wall, for example, I have a bookshelf, redecorate it. Because you see, a lot of you are also going to be doing video calls. Now you want to look good in the frame. Please understand, aesthetics has great value. Of course, there is content and your presence, but aesthetics also adds it. So redecorate. You can just put a painting and put it behind you. I put this little flower vase here. I put a lot of things in the background. It should look beautiful and professional. You have the opportunity. Gather things from your house and put it around. And even if it's a table, where you have set things up, put things on your table and keep them in view. You have no idea how long away great aesthetics go. An aesthetic visual soothes the person who is looking at it. That's why beauty is so attractive. In the frame, add some beauty. If a painting is somewhere else, get it and put it into your frame behind you. Make it professional and make it beautiful. It's in your hands. Look, get creative. This is your test. This lockdown is the test of how you can make things work to the best of your ability. That if you had the chance to do this again, how would you do it? That day you would do it better because you would be free-minded, because you would be positive. And the test is, can you be free-minded and positive today when things are so challenging around you? So create a beautiful frame. So if you're using the smartphone, hopefully you would have a selfie stand, or maybe your kids have, and ask them, set it up at a good angle, okay? A good frame. A good frame is where there is equal distance above your head and equal distance below your face, okay? So, you'll see all these calls where all you can see is the roof, or you can see the person at a different angle. Make a nice, beautiful frame. Test it before. Adjust angles and see. Get your children to help. They do this for a living. And also, it would be a smart idea to keep your phone or your laptop at a higher angle than your face. Then you look a little thinner as well. Yeah, but make the frame nice. Okay, now instead of just putting your laptop on the table, then you see the chin up and you're talking and it looks very, very weird. And sometimes the visuals distract us. The fellow looks so weird. People will click screenshots and put it around and just don't get into all of that. If your table is too low, put a pile of books and put the laptop there. If you don't have a table, get some other arrangement, get a chair, put some boxes on it and put your laptop on that. Be a little professional. Find a way. That's what you get paid the big bucks for, because you find a way, because you solve a problem. Then don't say, oh, I did not have the facility and therefore the video looked shoddy. You have the facility. Make it work. And this is your time to shine. This is your time to stand out. That while everybody has these lousy frames going on, you look amazing. And they ask you, what help did you get? You just adjusted it at the right angle. You just added a little aesthetics in the frame. See, when you're setting up your workspace, especially for a video call, it would be good to get some good lighting. Focus all the lights on you. Get a little lamp and put it. Light some candles. Find a workspace where there is enough light. Go sit next to a window. The good part is there is no sound of traffic. It's only the sound of birds. Do a little test, a little demo with your camera to see, and click pictures. Make videos to see what looks good. Then ensure you have good audio. Use the headphone, okay? And if you're using the headphone, at least put it from under your shirt. You know, it's a good idea. Look how people do it in the media. You don't see their headphones hanging around. Put a little interest, put a little attention into your frame, into your work, how it looks to the other person. Perception is a big thing, and that's a big lesson for you to move ahead in success, for you to move ahead in life. So put your headphone and put it from under your shirt and maybe clip it here. Clip, don't have a clip, take your daughter's U-pin and put it. You know, find a way to be professional. Now, wherever you're setting up your laptop and your phone, make sure you're close to plug points and chargers. Otherwise, every 1 hour, 2 hours, you'll be getting up, looking for a charger, putting your phone there, putting your laptop there. Arrange everything. Get an extension wire. If you don't have it, sit at a plug point. You know, it's the small things that go a long way. It's the small disturbances that cause distractions. And the minute you will get up from some place, then your wife will call you, then your child will call you, or you might just go into the kitchen and get yourself a cup of tea, and there your focus and your attention is broken. So you set things up that I'm not getting up from this place until my job is done and until my time is up. Now these are little things that are already looked after at work, but you're at work now, make it work. And it's a one-time adjustment. It's a one-time setup which will serve you for the coming days to come. And I urge you to dress professionally, not just for the frame, but totally dress professionally. Do your hair well. Wear a nice shirt. I mean, the world is watching you. You are today perhaps on a Zoom call, connected with more people than you actually met at work. So don't just wear a good shirt, wear a good pant also. Because while other people may not see you, your children are watching you. They are learning lessons in professionalism from you. And if you cut corners on your job today, what are you teaching them? Oh, just because they can't see it, I can do this. Now that is a lesson for life, that this is who I am, whether you're watching me or not, because I am at work and this is how I am at work. I will repeat this one more time. Your children will never come to see you on the job, but they are watching you now. So don't do this half and half. And you know what? Even by mistake, if you get up in the middle of a video, they can see your shots and they know that you are half-hearted in it, that you have cut corners, and nobody appreciates that. Look, if you want your job into the future, if you want to shine into the future, you have to not only help yourself, but also help others. And the biggest, strongest message you give to them is, first, how are you handling your job? See, I like to bring up the topic of your children because end of the day, that's who you're working for. At least that's what you tell us. So they are watching you. And remember, your children reflect your past from your childhood. You didn't have the opportunity perhaps to get trained in professionalism firsthand from your parents. You saw them go to work and then you saw them come back from work. This is your opportunity to train them for the future firsthand. And look, if you're insecure about the future and if you're uncertain how things are going to be, then first worry about your children, because that future is going to be real for them. You've still lived about half your life, perhaps, 3/4 or 1/4. They have a full future ahead and you got to prepare them with your example. Just words is not enough. They are getting enough of that from the internet. They need examples. And look, this 24-hour lockdown is your chance to set it right for them, to set a better future for them, and to train them by what you do. Also, I have a special mention when you do get on the call with your colleagues and friends and family, don't start off with negative news and bad news and don't entertain it. There are enough forwards and so on. Unless it has happened to you, don't discuss it because everybody is well informed. Your opening statement should be of concern but not of negativity and adding to it. Express your worry, express your concern, and then move on to positivity and productivity and keep people's minds on the future. Don't get into these talks of what will be and so on. If you are busy designing the future, then talk about that. If your attention is in the past, then you're ruined any which ways and you're going to ruin now the attention and focus of another person. Take some responsibility. If you were on the highest leadership rung, where would you want your people's attention to be? In the past, in negativity, or on the vision? You have that chance of leadership right now because people are not exhibiting it. People are all victims to the current scenario. You take over and be a creator of the future. And please don't get into this really lowly task of sending forwards and so on, because whatever you read and consume, whether those are facts or exaggerations or opinions, it will affect your decision making. And look, your future is going to be based on the decisions that you make today. If this is going to be your indulgence, then write your future off. Then every day will be a struggle and you will be messing your life and the lives of so many others who are connected with you, including your family. Now, while some of the future concerns could be real, like we see in the news that salaries have been cut, people are being laid off, no incentives given out and so on, prepare for the worst. But give your best today. Yes, it will happen to me. And you know what? This is exactly what happens in bad times. The good thing is you have your health, you have your family. Okay, there'll be less money, there'll be inconveniences, but make it up for the future. So if you're going to get a cut now, work harder, give more performance, because end of the day, end of the week, end of the month, your performance will be totaled up, right? Make up for it in the future. That's how an entrepreneur thinks. There will be losses. It's not Sunday every day. So if they have a bad month, he's not thinking, oh my God, my life is ruined. He's thinking, I'm going to make up for this loss in the future. How will you make it up in the future? By what you do today. Up your performance, up your delivery, put in harder work, put in more study, upgrade your skills so that whatever cut that you had right now, whatever you lost right now, you have a personal guarantee that you will make it up into the future. I would say go a step ahead and call your bosses and call your founders and ask them, what can I do? We're going through difficult times. Trust me, assign me with more work. I'm on your side. And you know what? When you move out of your profile and you try and shoulder people whose responsibilities are greater than yours, you will be an asset for them for a lifetime. This too shall pass. And you know what? While this passes away, there'll be graver problems into the future and they will know who they can trust. But if you're going to be cribbing and worrying and not doing your own job well because you are scared, think about the fear the people above you have, because they have much more to lose. The lower you are, perhaps the easier it is, because there aren't as many job openings at higher levels. So can you imagine their level of insecurity where they don't know whether their job will ever exist or the business will ever exist? I urge you to become bigger than yourself because you want to be that, because you were planning for that kind of personality, persona and job profile in the future. Start today. You have the opportunity and this may never come again. Don't look at this as a problem or a challenge. Look at it as an opportunity once of a lifetime. Because you know what? Everything is going through this challenge. Everyone is going through this worry. This crisis is for a collective humanity. But later on in life, guess what? You will have problems and you will be alone in it. How will you handle it then? Today, at least, you all can discuss and put your heads together and share your worries. But what about the day the problem will only be yours? If you can't handle this now, then my friend, it will be so difficult into the future and you would have proven that you're not an asset, you're a liability. This is a golden opportunity. Take it, grab it and shine. Let this time also be a wake-up call for your health. take a good account of your health. This is the time you can sort out your diet. You see all of these jokes and memes all over social media where, there's before COVID and after COVID, and people can't get out of the house anymore because they've become so fat. This would also be a good time to set up a good lifestyle, good food, good diet, good exercise, and also intake of supplements and vitamins. This whole crisis pandemic has happened. It has also brought to our notice that our immune system is not as good as we think it is, especially if you live in cities which are heavily polluted. This would be a good opportunity to invest some time in understanding your health, your body, so that no matter what other virus comes into the future, you know that you and your family are safe because you're healthy. So on a parting note, round up your family, assign good roles to them, ask, beg for their support, and in return, promise them a great future. So while the world is crying and sitting in uncertainty and fear, you promise your family a better future. And all you ask in return is their focus and their support. And you know what? Make it worth it. That when another problem happens, they all stand up, ready, because they know that they also contributed into the future. Purpose has great power, and if you can align your job, your family, your colleagues, and your vision with the larger purpose of contribution and service, if you become solution-oriented, if you are not shying away from hard work, and if you can make things work in the toughest of times and do it beautifully and aesthetically, you, my friend, have a bright future no matter what the situation, no matter any planet or universe that you go to. And that is a source of great confidence and great pride. So I hope this helps. I'm doing my little bit of keeping myself useful in this lockdown. I'm used to traveling. I do live workshops for a living. I don't have the stage anymore, so I've taken to the screen. So I will one day meet you live, not virtually, face to face, in person, and it would be my honor to have you in my audience and to have a conversation with you. Thank you for watching this video. Stay safe, stay healthy, and keep shining. Bye-bye.